Welcome everybody. Today's house, this is special. This is a really cool house. Um, what I find interesting about sort of cultures in general is they take from one, give to the next. Or the one culture will have a use for something and another will have a different use. So as an example, as many of you know from the channel when you follow me, I always sort of find analogies within the car industry. So when the car was first invented, created, and as it came across to America, in Europe, cars are pretty much very pragmatic. It's to get you to work. It's to get you to the store. And then the automobile or car in the United States, right, it did those things, but you went to the movie in your car and you sat in the car. You went to dinner, you went to a drive-in dinner restaurant, which was you drove into the restaurant parking lot, they came to your car, delivered your food, and you sat in your car and ate your food, right? It was very much like a social thing. So there was a difference of car culture. So this house, similar kind of thing, our thing that came when mid-mod came to America, this came with it. So, welcome everybody. Once again, I'm your host, Alister, the Modern Modernist. So what are we talking about today? What are you on about? Well, this mid-mod has what's called a mansard roof. And you mostly see them on mid-mods in the United States. I don't see them out on mid-mods outside of the United States. And what's interesting is the mansard roof was actually created by Francois Mansard, so a hard T on the end, who was French in the 17th century. They actually didn't become popular in construction on homes until the 18th century, so after he died. And they were used predominantly in France, because he was French, and here in the United States during that time, mid-18th century. And then they went away. And then the mid-mod movement came to America, sort of, like I said, when Bauhaus was shut down as they were basically forced to leave Germany, so in the 1930s. And in the 1950s, you started seeing mansard roofs appear. They're a weird roof. To me, it looks like the house is wearing a fez, as for lack of a better description. And there are four kinds of a mansard roof. There is concave, convex, a five-sided, and what this house has is what's called a flat. The benefit of them, or the reason they were invented, was to give you more space and roof line in the roof, which we'll see. This house definitely is an example of that. And the downside is they are expensive. And when they were used in the 18th century, just the way they were installed, it was said they had a lot of issues with, were a lot harder to seal, water, weather. But you'll see what a mansard roof looks like, and you'll see why, because it's right in the elements. But I've never seen any of those issues on a mid-mod. But yeah, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with them. I'm not a big fan of mansard roofs. I don't like the way they look on a mid-mod. But I like the way they look on this house, and I like the way this house is. This is probably my new favorite home on the channel. And yeah, I mean, back to cars, my favorite car is a Porsche 928. The one thing a Porsche 928 is never going to win is a beauty contest. And I'd say the same thing about a house with a mansard roof, but I like them. On this house, it looks brilliant. So let's get started, shall we? We're in the living room, and we're going to pan around. And I'm going to show you basically the one benefit of why this house has a mansard roof. Are you ready? There is our living room. So these really tall ceilings with these just phenomenal beams. And this is just the living room. And there's the primary bedroom is the same way. It really gives you some interior height. It is so cool. Look at this. So this is a custom built house. The architect that built this also built the house next door, which is another mid-mod, but without it's a flat roof. Totally different look. The floors in this house, okay, we know how we do String Brothers. They always do sort of a concrete pebble dash into the front door and into the foyer of the house, right? Yeah, well, this guy went different. You ready? It's all pebble dash concrete. So there is the front door, okay? And it leads all the way in. This is your living room. I'm gonna come around. There's your dining room. Look at that. It's all concrete. It is so cool. The backyard is predominantly a pool. We'll get to that. But look at this. I mean, this is all original. There's an article in the SACB about this house back when it was built, and it was called "The Lady Hates Housework." Was the name of the article. And I'm thinking maybe she didn't like to vacuum, and that's why we have concrete floors. They're really cool. You'd think it would be cold, but it's not. This house has been staged for sale. Actually, a friend of mine did it. So Deb Flagoto, she's brilliant. Her team has an amazing eye. It's a mid-mod, and they're pretty close on the furniture. It looks really good. In the SACB, there was 2 couches in this room, and they were white Formica with brown velour velvet cushions or seating pads. They're probably worth a fortune if you could find those couches today, because they would be original, obviously, back then. Today they'd be antiques, but they looked amazing in this space. But this looks really good. Now, fireplaces. Look at this. You ready? So it's not gas. This is a wood burner fireplace. Look at that. These columns, like monolithic almost. And then it's all this wood. What scares me about this house is whoever buys it, well, let's just paint it all white. I hope they don't. I really do, because it just looks phenomenal. Look at that. And that's, so the way those beams angle, right, up, that's all part of the Mansard roof, which I'll show you. We'll go outside and I'll show you exactly what that is. But anyway, so this is the living room that I've spent an awful amount of time in. It's probably the longest I've ever spent in a living room, and I don't know the video. And there's your dining room. Wait to see the kitchen. So what we'll do is we're gonna start. I'm gonna go outside to the front door so you can see outside too. All right, so let's just walk out. We're in a little bit of a rush. I got a plumber coming, so we gotta squeeze this video in today. There's our time crunch. So that is your walkway. Okay, there is a carport. There's actually a car in there, and it's not a garage, but a carport. And someone on my Facebook page commented that carports are for cars and garages are for stuff. They kind of have a point. So I'm really falling in love with more carports, because it just kind of keeps that minimalist life going, right? So now we're gonna walk down this. It's like a hallway almost. So, like I said, here's a carport. And you come down here. Front door is right in front of me. And there's this little patio. Great little bistro set, barbecue. There's patio, slider door. That's actually the kitchen. Then you're gonna walk through the front door. Now this front door was interesting. It's the most pedantic door lock I've ever had to deal with, but eventually figured it out and got it open. But there we go. So it's like a deadbolt situation, and then I went to the right to disengage the deadbolt, and then you go full left again to then disengage the spring lock below the deadbolt to pull that in, and then you just push the door open. It took me a minute to figure that out. I've never seen a lock like that, where one key controls the deadbolt and the latch lock below. Very strange, but it worked. We figured it out. And then you're gonna walk in. So there's our front door. And then we're just gonna go hard left. Wait till you see this kitchen. Again, concrete floors, right? But look at this. Pardon the plant, but cooked up kitchen. And then these bed mods, not a lot of counter space. I know that I've been doing the open this weekend. That's gonna be a really big complaint people are gonna have, but do you need that much counter space? So over in that corner, sink, cupboards. And another thing that's come up, if you follow me on Facebook at The Modern Modernist, I've been putting up plans for mid-mod houses, just over the time, just different designs. And then somebody said, oh, there's no pantry, there's no pantry. And I started looking at all the plans I've been posting, and there's a lot of kitchens without a pantry. And I cook, I don't need a pantry. It's just not my thing. I like to cook fresh food, so I don't have a lot of storage for food, because it doesn't stay in the house long enough for me to store it, because I eat it. But anyway, so the person that commented on my channel that they need a kitchen with a pantry, there's a pantry. There we go, problem solved. So, but yeah, it's a really cool space, this kitchen. I mean, so fridge, you've got an oven, microwave. Back in the day, that probably would have been a double stack oven. And then there's a dishwasher, right? And then there's your sink, cupboards, plenty of storage. To solve your countertop issue in this corner, you can get like a butcher block table on wheels. I would put something like that. Someone would probably ruin this kitchen if you put an island in it. It's just too small. But you don't really need that much space. There's more than enough room to cook a meal here. At least, and I cook. I don't mean just like onesie twosie meals. Like I entertain friends. I cook. I don't really see a problem in this kitchen. And again, the staging, I love it. So these are green, these chairs, which picks up. Look at this backsplash. That's just gorgeous. Beautifully done. It's kind of got a bit of like a mother of pearl sheen to it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really cool. And then there's that slider. So you cook your meals and then go sit out there. That's just that's the garage. So you're kind of sitting behind the garage. And in the back of the garage, there's a storage little area. There's 2 doors. You really can't see because it blends into all the siding of the garage, but there's a storage unit right there. So very, very cool. All right, so you're gonna walk out of the kitchen. So there's the backyard, front door, and then that was the kitchen that we just walked out of. And there's a hallway straight across from the kitchen. So let's go down here and see what we got. So there's a coat closet right off of the hallway. Now, wait to see this. So this is your hot water heater, all your insulation for the house, heater, all that good stuff, right? So look at that hallway. We have some fun down here, ready? There's a really cool bedroom, by the way. So in here, this is an office, and across from the office, there's your laundry room. This is definitely all original. See? Notice how no one's painted the woodwork white, people? For all you folks that like to just paint your woodwork white. Isn't that nicer? It just is. Across from the office, this bedroom. This is about, if I was a kid, if I was an adult, I think I'd just stay in this room. It is absolutely phenomenal. Kids had fun in this house. And this room, I'm sure they fought over. You ready? And then, see the roof line in here? There's the benefits of that Mansard roof. But there's a bunk built in. And let's do this. It is just so cool. There's actually, I'm not sure what's up there. Storage, access, I'm guessing. I didn't really climb up to have a look. And I don't want to disrupt all the staging, but there's just a really cool windows, light comes in. It's just right, you've got built-in desk, and again, unpainted wood. Look at it. It's just, and it's got, this house still has a lot of the original switches, which I just love. There's nice big and chunky. And this is another product in today's day and age, if it fails or breaks, 3D printing is gonna be a real easy fix. So I like this. And again, light switches. I swear, like people were shorter back then, or they were tall and had long arms. Like the light switches are like super low in this house. But I see that all over Midmont. They're all just right there. So we come down this hallway. There's a full bath. This bathroom is, I would not say this is original to the house. I would seek out how it was originally done and bring it back. That's just me. But it is very, very cool. I love it. And this is kind of I wouldn't call this popcorn, but it's definitely a textured finish. I like it. I like it a lot. And again, see all this, beautiful. And you see this a lot, Carter Sparks, aluminum door hinges. They haven't been painted over. So these are probably the original doors too. And it's kind of a two-tone between this and the, which I really like. This is, as funny as I do these, right? I say, oh, new favorite. Well, I'm sorry, I get old, but this is a new favorite. This is not what I expected. The listing agent, she's in our office. Terri Higgins with Windermere, and The way she explained it, I didn't expect this. It's beautiful. And again, here's look at the height of this ceiling. You may not get it because it's all painted white, but look at that. And that, again, that slope is all part of what's the mansard roof, which we have to, when we go to the pool, I'll show you. I've got closets all built in. And there's even a shoe rack built into this one. Didn't notice. Oh, it's both sides, but it mirrors. So, very cool. All right, now, primary room. This is a phenomenal bedroom, but I think I still once in a while I go sneak asleep in that built-in bunk bed, but this is a cool room. Ready? Why is there so much light coming in? Look at that window. And that's the roof line. Again, that's what it creates. I think I found a new thing that I like. So, and this, again, very popular back, is the sink was in the bedroom as part of the bathroom, right? Watch. So look, there's bedroom. And there's the sink. Shower, toilet, we'll go to take a look, and then there's a full closet, but sink is right there. It's not in the bathroom, sort of in the room itself. And big old closet, which is rare. I mean, this is a big closet for 1960s mid-mods. And then there is, look at that. Oh, that's original. I love seeing stuff like this. It's so cool. And then this bathroom, the fan does turn on, so that's why the light was off, but you'll be able to hear it. But anyway, and this is just a shower, toilet, in the primary. I know some people complain primaries don't have a bath. I prefer showers. It doesn't bother me, but when I have the open this weekend, someone might make a comment about it. It is what it is. Yeah, and again, these are all this woodwork. It's all original. There's some delamination going on this door. It's an easy repair. Not that complicated, but I just love this. Look at this room. Oh, and it's so quiet in here. It's kind of in a corner of the street, and it's just beautiful. It really is nice. And look at this. In fact, these ceiling lights, they look like gumdrops. But yeah, look at that hallway. That's such a cool view to walk down there every morning after you get out of bed. I would love that. And I like this, and I've talked about this before, how I'm noticing parents today, they want the kids near them rather than on the other side of the house, which mid-mods tend to put, String Brothers especially, put the primary on one side and all the bedrooms on the other. This, you walk down the hallway out of the primary, and as you head into the kitchen, you're waking up kids. Boom, and then you round this corner and straight to the kitchen. Cup of coffee, anyone, right? All right, let's go look at this mansard roof. I've talked about it. I mean, we've had them for 300 years now in architecture, and here they are in a mid-mod still. So what do they look like? Now I gotta find an angle that works. So this is on the back side of the house. So it's like a crown. So like 4 sides. And this one is a sloping mansard, or straight mansard is what they would call this. So we're gonna go a different out front till we get a better look. But that's what a mansard roof looks like. And so that's what gives us those absolutely phenomenal ceiling heights. And pardon the noise, we've got pool equipment back here, but there's the pool. And again, this gets a little bit of a better view down the side of the house. Okay, so that's, oh wow, that's a beautiful little plant, little tree. Look at that. I like that. It's beautiful this time in Sacramento, this time of year I love, because everything's in blossom. Unless you have allergies, which allergy sufferers right now in Sacramento are really suffering, because we had a lot of rain this winter, so all the plants just blossoming. Which, again, that's what a mansard roof looks like. This is, and it's y'all, so here's the side profile down there. See that? Hopefully that was enough of you. We got that, I think. So there is a garage, like I said. So this is storage. And it's used for storage, all right. But this actually runs the width of the garage. See? And then I'm going to face it on the ground on the floor because it's full of stuff. But that's kind of nice. Like, you could keep cleaning supplies out here because you start living in the house and then there's your kitchen and you just run across, right? I'm not sure if we can actually get in the garage. I didn't ask the question. Well, in actual fact, yeah, it is literally. So it's just access on that one side. So you kind of have a carport and then you've got this storage unit for your stuff, which, to go what one of my viewers on my Facebook channel said, yeah, you don't have all that junk in your garage. So there we go, folks. So I appreciate it. As I said, I was up against the clock because I had a plumber coming back, and sure, don't you know it, there's a plumber just pulled in the driveway. So this is gonna end the video. I appreciate your time. I really do. I think it's awesome that you folks take time out of your day to come watch my channel. So thank you very much. Terri Wakabayashi, listing agent, thank you so much for letting me do these videos. I love it. I really do like it when agents let me do this. It's awesome. So once again, folks, thank you very much. Appreciate you watching. Be good to each other, humans. Take care. Have a good day.